Hello everybody, welcome to Movie Master where we rank, review, trailer act and talk about movies and TV shows. So today, I am uploading the last few videos for the year 2020. It is December 16th. My school has just gone out, and with that, I am now filming the final YouTube videos for the year, and then I'm going to upload a final video to finally finish off the last of 2020. Now, 2020 has been a whopper year. It's been the year that a majority of my videos have been released in. And some of my videos I did release last year, and I did release a chunk of my videos this year. And next year I have many more videos planned, and many more cancelled videos I never got to finish. So the video idea, I do not know what I have currently, but I've decided to do this. I'm going to give my opinion, my final opinion on all 3 seasons of Marvel's Spider-Man, the cartoon that was debuted in 2017 as a reboot of the Spider-Man cartoon franchise yet again after the cancellation of Ultimate Spider-Man in 2017. So, Marvel Spider-Man is essentially it's called Marvel Spider-Man, debuted in 2017 as a reboot, and it got merged a part of the Marvel animated universe, the universe where all the cartoons are interconnected. The series so far has 3 seasons, and I do not know, it's rumored that it's getting a 4th. Now, I'm giving my opinions on all 3 seasons. This is all going to be a one video. What I'm going to look for is the good, the bad, and in the middle. And with season 1, let's start with that one. The good. The casting's perfect. They cast the characters well. That's all the good I can say. The casting was well. In the middle, the storylines. The storylines were quite unique. The origin story I felt like was a bit rushed. Because Uncle Ben was killed off screen. And yes, he's supposed to be killed off screen in most comic media, in most animated media, but well, they kind of shoehorned him into that sort of film. He had no reference, no mention in the other shorts, and randomly in this one he gets killed off. So that kind of disappointed me with that short film. And a lot of the storylines didn't feel like they got their use. And yeah, in the middle, animation. The animation's not as bad as people say. It is a bit off, but it's better. It's sleek. It's still good enough in my opinion. The characters. The characters are half interesting. One thing I do find very bad, which is in the bad category, but I'll get to that later, is something that I really didn't like. It was good. The characters were pretty solid. Solid interpretations of the characters they're meant to play, and they set up a lot of good stuff for the future. Now the bad stuff. One, it's not a back to basics. With Spider-Man, they said they wanted to do back to basics with Marvel Spider-Man. They did not do a back to basics. The reason why is Spectacular Spider-Man had already done that. Spectacular Spider-Man had already gone back to basics, with the last cartoon focusing more on a movie perspective, altering its course to fit more well with the 2002 film. This show, Spectacular Spider-Man, merged the comics, films, and its own ideas into one ball and then threw it, and then it became a success for 2008 and 2009. So that was already a back to basics series in and of itself. When Marvel Spider-Man and Ultimate Spider-Man came out, Ultimate Spider-Man delved into the mythos, like from the classic Spidey era to the more throbbing, really far out Spider-Man era, like for the Ultimate and ones where he's an Avenger and stuff like that. Marvel Spider-Man got a bit of a back to basics, but then Morley jumped the gun on back to basics and just jumped it and altered a lot of things. So, can't lie on that. And number one, the reason I really disliked this season most, was they made it all about Peter Parker's intelligence. Peter Parker's intelligence is a crucial part of his character. He's a science whiz. He's known for that character. His knowledge of science is what helps him build his web shooters and many more gadgets he used to take down the bad guys and fight those villains in purple and green spandex and with octopuses for arms. With octopus tentacles for arms. And those who could transform themselves into giant lizards and scare the mayor of Tokyo. And that's what he's done. And they made it way too based on Peter Parker's intelligence. His quips weren't even that funny. They were based on science like blah blah blah. This molecular structure should be bombed in your face. Blah blah blah. Now I get the voice actor had nothing to do with that, but Jesus Christ, Disney. Disney, just please don't do that again. And luckily they did not do that with season 2. Now, as overall as what I think of it, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It's a decent show, but Series 1 of Ultimate Spider-Man will get an 8 out of 10 automatically due to the fact that it has much more interesting story beats that season follows that I'd rather watch. Season 2. Season 2's big storyline about the Goblin Army, I think it's called, I don't know. I didn't really care about it. Because normally the series has one big series arc storyline when they pop up in tiny hints. Like in Gravity Falls, or the MCU, or in other films. Films and TV shows do this to set up movies do it mostly to set up a future TV series, or a sequel they want to do, or a spin-off. Or shows do it to finish up a season-long story arc, or put that into a new season, or tied film, or game. That's what they do. And they made the Goblin Army, or Goblin Wars. And they tried that idea. And it didn't work. It didn't really work. It was good, but I didn't really notice it. And I didn't get why they made Adrian Toomes him. I thought it'd be better to make the Goblin King, Norman Osborn. Because, well, he's the Green Goblin in the main universe of comics. So, yeah. But overall, good. The characters and the animation's much better. The casting was obviously still good. In the middle with the entire story, most of the side storylines, there's really nothing else to say. Didn't really dislike anything, but yeah, besides that, it was alright. Maximum Venom. Now, this one I have much more better things to say about it. Good. The characters, the way it was shot, the way the character arcs that they went through, the relationships between characters, especially Peter and MJ's relationship, which I really felt like expressed themselves really deeply in this one. And overall, where the season went, it was a pretty good, solid season. And if it has a season 4, then yep. It definitely expanded the Venom story arc this much more with this season. It had a much more Venom-focused storyline than the other 2 seasons. And I really liked that we got to see more of the Venom backstory for those who had not read the comics or seen the films or seen any other media. And yeah. So yeah. Anywho, yeah. So yeah, that's my review on the Marvel Spider-Man series as a whole, what I think of the entire series. Marvel Spider-Man Season 1, 2, and Marvel Spider-Man Maximum Venom. I want to say what I think about Marvel Spider-Man Maximum Venom cartoon, all 3 seasons reviewed. Now, this is a long line of videos that I plan to finish off 2020 with. A lot of these videos were cancelled and mixed in together. So, luckily, a lot of videos I cancelled with the PS5 reveal and the Miles Morales and Remastered thing. I did those videos way before the PS5 came out, so I was glad I did those way before the PS5 came out. And I'm happy it's released. And I also got Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered on the PS4. And I'm so happy because I used to love playing that on my uncle's old PS3, which is sadly now broken, so rest in peace PlayStation. I know it's a gaming console, but sometimes gaming consoles can be much more than just a console you play, a thing for playing video games. It can be much more than that. It's something that gives you happiness and makes you feel better and gives you purpose sometimes. And I feel like I really did. It was really cool to play with, but if it had to go, it had to go. So yeah, that was that, and this is a long line of videos. My next video will be likely me ranking all the Spider-Man franchises, all the Spider-Man films so far, like the trilogy sets, like the original trilogy, like the first trilogy from 2002 to 7, the duology, the Amazing Spider-Man duology from 2012 to 2014, and the soon-to-be Tom Holland trilogy from the Spider-Man MCU trilogy. So yeah. And I'll also do a video on all Spider-Man live-action actors. Only the live-action ones. So, yeah. And with that is that video. And make sure you like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you don't miss any movie masterful content. If you have a bell icon. And, yep. And, yeah. Well, I'm going to go have a little break and then come back in for my next video. So see you guys in the next one.